The whole international community has been coming together to try and bring an end to violence in Kenya. And I believe there is a responsibility on the part of all opposition and government leaders in Kenya to call on their supporters to end the violence that's taking place. I've just talked to President Kufuor of Ghana. He's the chairman of the African Union, well respected right across Africa, someone who has promoted democratic rights in his country and throughout Africa. And I welcome his decision that he will announce later today that he will go to Kenya. He will meet President Kibaki and Mr. Odinga tomorrow. He will call on them to urge their supporters to end violence, and he will work with the parties to ensure that reconciliation is brought about, and perhaps a chance that some of the people who are at the moment opponents may join a government of national unity. I think it's very important that the international community supports the efforts of President Kufour. He is trying very hard with other people to bring an end to the violence, and we will give whatever support we can to President Kufour's mediation, which will take place tomorrow.
The Secretary General is increasingly troubled by the escalating tensions and violence in Kenya in the aftermath of last week's election. He is shocked by reports that dozens of civilians were burned to death in a church in Eldoret, and that 300 people have now been reported killed in this deplorable outburst of violence. The Secretary General reminds the government, as well as the political and religious leaders of Kenya, of their legal and moral responsibility to protect the innocent lives of people, regardless of their racial, religious, or ethnic origin, and he strongly urges them to do everything within their capacity to prevent any further violence.
Happy New Year, Michelle. I was wondering if there is any statement or response.
Everyone's having so much fun. What we would like to see is an immediate end to the violence, and the political parties, the leaders of the political parties in Kenya should urge everyone to refrain from violence. What happened there yesterday was absolutely tragic. Well, in the past few days was absolutely tragic, and the church fire exemplifies just how horrible violence in the aftermath of the election can be. The president does support increasing drilling in environmentally sensitive ways in Anwar. That will be another. I'm sure you'll hear from that again. Right now, what the president is doing is encouraging Secretary Rice, who has been in contact with the leaders of the political parties there. At least I know she's reaching out to them again today to try to urge them to ask their followers to refrain from any violence.